Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first ever adventures in woodturning. Today I'm doing a mahogany vase. This piece of wood was very nice. I got it at the local woodcraft store and put it on my lathe, got it. It was really well cut and balanced, so it started out pretty good. And we got it going. And as you can see, I have it attached to my lathe and it's balanced and spinning correctly and looking really good. I'm rather new to the wood turning world, so a lot of the stuff that I've learned off of the techniques and everything that I use are things that I've learned off of YouTube. Things like Kim Tippin and the Pole Barn Productions. I'm using a simple, I think it's called a simple wood turning carbide tip tool. This is the roughing tool, the flat head. I've seemed to like the carbide tools better. They last a little bit longer and they don't need to be sharpened like traditional wood turning tools. Here you see me rounding it out and getting it all set up so that I can start shaping it. The lathe that I'm using is a Central Machinery lathe from Harbor Freight. Nothing special. It's actually the third lathe that I've had. I started off with a very small Harbor Freight lathe, and I kind of went up to a shopsmith for a little while, and that wasn't working out for me. But then I changed and decided, well, I've read some reviews about it, and it was pretty good, and decided to try it, and so far it's been pretty good for me in the trials and everything. I'm also using the Nova Chuck. A Nova Chuck, yes. And now I'm trying to make the recess for so that my chuck can hold on to it from the other end so I can start hollowing it out. I started having some problems with this just because, for one thing, it's hard to do when your tools aren't cutting correctly. This is a 55-degree pointed angle carbide tool that I was trying to see if I can fix the problems that I was having. It started digging in, but eventually, now I'm using the round tip hollowing shaping tool that's part of the set. Now I'm using a traditional, I don't remember what they call this. This is a parting tool, I think is what it was. So I'm trying different things, trying to get this hole. Now I'm back to and I took it off thinking that it was big enough, but it wasn't big enough. So I tried to put it back on, and I found out that that by taking it off the wormwood screw, it was not very stable. So I had to put the tail piece back up and start again. But the tail piece is too big, and it's kind of hard for me to get in there, and I was having a hard time getting my tools in there to make it wider, and it just was not working the way that I wanted. So I decided to try to take it away, and yep, you know what happens next when things aren't very stable. It just becomes unstable and goes flying right off. What exciting things. It's exciting when a piece of wood goes flying off your lathe and luckily I wasn't anywhere near it, and it went the other direction, but it didn't do any damage to the wood. But yeah, it was kind of annoying, and so I ended up just changing it over, and I screwed a, I don't remember, it's a ring that basically fits into the lathe, or into this lathe chuck, and makes it hold on. So right now it's attached by a metal ring that's on there, and now I'm trying to get some final shaping done before I start hollowing it out. This mahogany turns really well. It's a very soft wood, and it's, well, I don't know if it's a soft wood. I'm not an expert in woods, so, but all the stuff that I've turned lately, mahogany and like ambrosia maple are the ones that seem to turn really well. I had a piece of purple wood a little while ago, I mean, that was really heavy and dense, and it was breaking, and yeah, it just caused me all kinds of problems. But mahogany and ambrosia maple and cherry are all really good woods. And here I am doing some sanding and getting it smoothed out so that, you know, you always do your finishing beforehand. I'm sanding it up to 320 grit, so yeah, it was 150, there was 250, and then I think the next one that I do is the 360, 340, or I don't remember, but it's a 300 grit, yeah. Now it's all nice and smooth, and I'm going to put some Mylan sanding sealer on it, just to kind of keep it, you know, raise the grain a little bit, make it so that when I put on my abrasive paste, which I use Axe abrasive paste. Axe is a really good brand. A lot of good wood turners use it, and I started using it, and I like it a lot. It's a paste that, I think what it is, it basically acts as a sanding agent that sands it up to about 1,000 grit, and it comes out really nice and smooth and shiny. And now I'm using the Axe Restoring Polish to kind of give it a good finish. It's a kind of a waxy finishing tool that brings out a gloss and glow of the wood. It's a really, really nice paste that brings out the color of the wood and makes it look really nice. Alright, now I'm going to try to hollow it out, and this is kind of where everything started going south for me. I'm using my 2.5 inch Forstner bit, and I'm currently trying to get it to a point where I can start hollowing it out with the tool, but for some reason I was having some major trouble with this tool, and it wasn't hollowing correctly. So yeah, this is where the adventures in wood turning is you know, I'm learning to do this, and it's kind of difficult at first, but as you get better at it, I've had a lot of failures, and I don't count this as a failure yet because I haven't completed the whole thing. But the problem with it is that I kept pushing it down, trying to get it down to a level where I can start doing things with it. But ultimately what started happening is that the bit started getting really hot and started smoking, and the wood was coming out a little bit brownish, more brownish than normal. And so I decided to give it a rest, and I'm going to come back and try to finish this project again later when I have time to do it again. But the purpose of these videos are going to be more for learning and growing in wood turning. I call this my adventures in wood turning, and hopefully this will help as I learn, that you'll be able to learn with me and be able to see my successes and my failures, and not necessarily have a complete project at the end of the video, but to show you techniques and things that I've learned over the time that I've been doing this. And hopefully together we will learn and grow in wood turning, and hopefully we'll enjoy this journey together. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like if you feel free to do so, And hopefully we'll see you again in the next video, and thanks for watching.